Okay, in continuation of the other video, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one title shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old, Thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment, and whosoever shall say to his brother Raka shall be in danger of the council, but whoever shall say thou fool shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and therefore remember that your brother has something against you, leave there thy gift and before the altar and go thy way. First be reconciled with your brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Um, about the law, what he's saying about the law is like some people think he abolished the law, that like the law is cancelled, that the laws like in the Old Testament and stuff like this are not valid anymore. But that's actually not what he teaches. Some of the confusion is because Paul later says things that imply that the law is just not, is just gone, is not valid. He says that we died to the law, that he died to the law, and some stuff like this. Um, he was confusing teacher. He said some things that sound opposite also, and he had this change in his mind about along the time he teach it. I mean, he did a lot of important work. He went to a lot of places and teach it. But like he was a teacher. He was a man that persecuted the church, and then later God made force him to instead go preach the gospel after it made him blind and healed him. And it's like, but he was not like God speaking. And he was not a prophet. He was someone that some early Christian we have. Unusually a lot of written what he says, but it's not necessarily so correct. And about this, I think he confused people. Like, so we should always listen to God, not to what people say. Even people in the Bible that were not their words were not the words God dictated to them to say in His name, but things that was what they understood. They can be wrong. So it's like what God says here. He says what is to fulfill. Like to fulfill is to take something that is incomplete and make it complete. So he's saying, but it means you're keeping what was before. So he's like saying that the laws that were given already and everything to teach it before him is still valid, it's still true and stuff, but it's like it was incomplete before that. And then he gives some example that he says that you are told not to murder, but I tell you that that you are in risk of judgment even if you're for getting angry and saying some really too much insulting things to someone that is like, especially someone like that you should care about and stuff, because he's your brother. But I suppose it's for anyone. But um, then it's like what he's saying is that he's taking the what was teached before, and he takes the meaning behind it, the reason why the law was given, and this is what he wants you to understand and apply, not the law itself. Like in this case, he says, people are told what not to murder. But why were they told? Why were they told not to murder? They were told not to murder because you're supposed to, like to, care about everyone, and it includes like, but like under the, you're supposed to this is like basic kind of, but then he wants you to not forget the laws of the Old Testament, but he wants people to actually know them, because he says that who would teach them would be called great, but who would be ignoring the casting, like throwing away even the least of those laws would be called little. So it's like he wants people to remember, but he wants them to understand the meaning behind them, and to really what you should care is like about the meaning behind it. I give you some example. It was written, for example, in some other place also, don't kidnap. Yeah. So of course, like, you don't need someone to tell you not to kidnap, but like try to expand it, like try to think why is like he did with the not murder, like he says you should also be careful what you say insulting to someone, like too much insulting, yeah, unnecessarily insulting someone. So it's like he says not to kidnap, but also don't force someone to do something he doesn't want to, like in a less dramatic way. Like if someone doesn't want, like if you want, you can like make it pressure people too much to do what you want, like people are like that sometimes. They're like they want other people to do something, then they're too much like kind of trying to make people do, to make other people do what they want them to do, like not what other people want them to do. And it's like, that apply this, that and did he do that? What was he doing? Why did he kneel down? He sit and start writing with his fingers in the earth, in the sand or something. He was writing like what was written about it before him. He was writing the law or something, and then it's like, so he didn't think it was not valid anymore. He addressed it up to the letter. Remember what was said, and then he gave them an answer that didn't contradict, because he says, whoever um, whoever is without sin, let him cast the first stone. So it's like saying, like, he doesn't contradict in this way what was already teached, because he didn't tell them not that it's wrong, or that what was teached before. He's just saying, like, okay, it's correct, like in the sense that, like, let's say they were like now in place that everybody was without sin, or like without, let's say, any major, don't do anything majorly wrong, kind of, then like in heaven, then it's like, then it would be correct if someone committed adultery to stone her. But it, because they are like in a society that they they are maybe also did some wrong things, and it's maybe there's some she might have been married to I don't know who, that maybe there's some pretty good reasons why she doesn't want to be with who she is with, like maybe he's horrible or is like way older than her or something, then and they want maybe to forgive in some other reasons, and maybe she didn't even do it and it was false accusation and stuff. And it's like then he's saying to them that he's not contradicting what was said before. He's just like he's addressing like the purpose of their laws is to be helping people correctly decide what to do and correctly assess situations and stuff like this. They don't have any purpose if they don't do that. So you're supposed to use what was written, including in the Old Testament, as guidelines to try to decide what to do and what is correct and incorrect. Um, so he sits, he writes, he reads, he thinks, and then he says something that is not, doesn't deny what God said about it, but is like, he's also not like blindly enforcing it, like, because in the end they didn't stone her. But he did tell her that she was sinning. He told her to sin no more. So like so it's like basically what he says, like don't that it's best to know what was in the Old Testament also written, all the laws, and to consider them, but most of them are irrelevant now. But there is like some really important stuff, like the two commandments that he said later is the most important commandments are from the Old Testament. They were given by Moses, yeah, and also the Ten Commandments, yeah, that he repeats quite a lot. But there's some others. There's maybe like 20 or 30 other laws like this that are like what they said, don't kidnap, for example. It's not something that God said for the Jews or for the people back then. It's just correct, you know. Then it's like there's some stuff like this. Um, there is some stuff like, for example, about Mary and stuff. There's some anyway. There's some laws like most of them are generally stuff that are quite obvious, but some of them are not totally obvious. Yeah, some stuff like this. Okay, so that's the part with the frog speaks with the Lord is abolished or something like that. No, this is most of it is irrelevant now, and it's supposed to be mentioned that all the schools were abolished because Peter later got given out with the animals coming on the sea 3 times. All the animals coming to after that. And it was put as a successor for us also resurrected someone. The food laws forget about them, and the ones with whether it's probably take the stuff that you think it was the laws about sacrifice. God actually said it's abomination doing animal sacrifice. Did that, so he allowed it back then, but doesn't want that. You can't even do that so much now. And also the stuff is what you can't do and doesn't supposed to do anymore. Some of the stuff. So there's some other things that if you don't marry your daughter, but it's a stepdaughter, and some other things like that. Okay, so there was that, and there was all the prophecies and stuff before him are still something that is still relevant. All the books before that are like by God and stuff, that what God said in them. So where was I? Whosoever shall therefore therefore if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there remember that thy brother has something against you, leave the gift before the altar and go thy way, and first be reconciled with thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. It's still continuation of the same stuff. Agree with thine adversity quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto you, thou shalt not be no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost payment. Let's say you have heard that it was said by them of old, thou shalt not commit adultery, but I say unto you that it's kind of still the same stuff. He still expands about before it. He doesn't care really about the sacrifice, but about what you do that is more significant, and to try to be in peace and stuff like this. To be kind of harmless or something, if not, if there is no need for to be otherwise. But I tell you, whoever shall look it on a woman to lust after had committed adultery with her in his heart. Well, yeah, he says that, but it's like he speaks in parables and metaphors and stuff. You need to think about it reasonably. Like, he doesn't mean that like everybody, except few asexual people, look at people with sexual attraction, and so it doesn't make any sense. Like everybody will go to hell or something. What he means is that uh, if you do something, if someone did something wrong, and someone else he didn't, but he only didn't because he was like he didn't have like opportunity or something, then it's not better. Like for example, if someone committed adultery, yeah, and someone else didn't, but he would have if it was possible for him, like if like there was someone he wanted but she didn't want, let's say, it's not to his credit that she doesn't like him or didn't want to or something, if what matters is what he like. If he was acting in a way that gives the impression that he's looking for that, it's the same as if he actually did that. If later didn't happen because what kind of reasons, probably she doesn't want to or something, then it's not like to his credit, that's the logic. Yeah. And then it's like it's the same as with before with the murder. It's like, don't just not commit adultery, also don't like you know uh, also don't like kind of give the impression, if like if someone gets the impression that you're trying to, or you would, or you yeah, that it's like an open possibility, that's also like wrong. Yeah, so but it's expanding on the laws that were given before, as using the meaning why it was given, kind of not the law itself. thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy member, it's like organs, should perish, and not that all your body should be cast into hell. Well, people sometimes take hell literally. Hell is just a place people burn garbage. It's like it means to be like to just not be alive anymore. It means like that you after in the judgment would be sent to just never live anymore. And then it's like he's saying like you should do whatever you need to avoid sin, because it's like it's better than dying and not living anymore forever. And then is it had been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committed adultery. So it's again, it's in this case, he does kind of contradict what was said before, but it's like what was said before was changed in the middle. Kind of is going back to the original, which was that people shouldn't divorce, and he's saying like that um, unless it's for like adultery. I think since he's making an exception, I suppose there are some other exceptions, like the same with the other laws. Like you should think about that the law is supposed to be helpful and about the meaning of it. So I suppose if someone has some really good reason to divorce, then it is valid. Like for example, if someone is her husband might like kill her or something if she doesn't divorce him, then it's also a reason. But you need like a really good reason. He's saying you need like a really good reason to divorce. And then it's like again, you have heard that it had been said by them of old, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shall perform unto the Lord thine oath. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. So he's telling you not to swear by anything, basically, because you're like taking something and putting it as a guarantee for what you're saying, and you don't. It's not good to do that because you don't really know so well. Probably don't want it to be actually, you know, taken as payment of you if you're wrong. So it's like shouldn't say that. Shouldn't swear by things. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black, but let your communication be yes, yes, no, no, and for whatever ever is more than this cometh of evil. Ye have heard that it had been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth, but I say to you that ye resist not evil, but whoever shall smite thee in the right cheek, return to him the other also. And if any man will sue thee at law and take thy coat, let him take your cloak also. And whoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him. To give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow thee. Turn not borrow of thee, turn not away. You have heard that it has. Uh, anyway, so he's like saying like you should basically everybody's gonna be judged eventually, and there isn't anyway much hope for the world, too much for you to save it, kind of like as if that you want much to fix the world or save the world, because you're like 1 in a million or something, and it's not gonna, you don't have a chance. And it's like so just like ignore whatever is, ignore um, like leave to God to eventually judge people to the extent that you can avoid it. You should defend yourself and stuff, but like don't try to fix the world. And what more than is like he's saying, it's getting long. I'll make another video. This would be part 2 now.